Jacobson.
I'm Pam Lathrop.
And we're here today for the November edition of the Beloit Today Show.
November.
Already.
Where does the time fly?
Today, it's raining, surprise, surprise, and we are at the Vision Center. And we only have 3 people on our show today because we have three big interviews, I guess.
Yes, we do. Quantity, not quality.
There you go.
Of course, we always have great quality on our show.
That's right. So Pam, we're here and you're going to interview Shauna?
I am interviewing Shauna Alameen. She's going to talk about an award that the Downtown Beloit Association recently received, and then about some of the upcoming events that we have to look forward to in downtown.
They are always winning awards down
Yeah,
here.
well, they deserve it.
They do, they do. And then I'm going to interview counselors. Mark Spreitzer. I always want to call him Mark, but he's Counselor Spreitzer. And he's going to tell us how you can run for council. As you know, he's our youngest council member that I can think of. And he is very passionate about local government. And so he is going to tell you how you could run for council if that's something that interests you.
And we're having him on right now because now is the time to start taking out the council papers.
That's right. That's right. So we know who our boss is going to be soon, huh?
Right. Yeah, we have to figure that out.
That's right.
And then we have a fun guest.
Yes, well, Pam and I always love to have unique people on, and this time we have another animal that's going to be on our show.
We're going to meet Glory, who is the new fire arson dog.
Yes, and so we have interviewed at the library with, what was the dog at the library?
Lily.
Lily, and now we have another dog. So hopefully she'll, be able to show us what she can do, and her handler is going to tell us about her contribution to the city.
Great. So I look forward to meeting Glory.
Yes, we have a great show, and stay tuned.
We're here at Vision Beloit with Shauna Alameen. She's the director of the Downtown Beloit Association, and Shauna has a lot of exciting things to talk to us about, starting with an award that she's holding that they just recently received. Tell us about that award.
Great. The City of Beloit and the Downtown Beloit Association partnered together last year, and we decided to give grant money to businesses for upper floor housing and for facade grants. And we gave out almost $300,000 last year out of the TIF funds. So Main Street recognized us for giving out such great money and helping all of our downtown businesses.
That is awesome. Now tell me, when you talk about upper floor housing, how many upper floor housing units do we have now?
Well, last year we added 15 units.
Wow.
Yeah.
In downtown.
Yeah. And right now we have about 11 of them occupied, and the rest are still being worked on. But
that's great. Mm-hmm. And this money comes from a TIF. So can you just briefly explain what's the TIF?
Sure, Tax Increment Finance District. With the downtown, we did have a TIF. It was expiring, and that money is set aside from tax dollars as new investment occurs in downtown. That money was put aside to reinvest in downtown, and that's what we were able to do.
Well, our downtown is really looking spiffy.
Thank you.
I mean, I can understand totally why we got an award.
Thanks.
And you and the city manager and Monica Christopa went up to where?
Wausau. To Wausau, yeah. And then we actually took our volunteer of the year was Tim McKern, and our board member of the year was Jason Braun, and then Jason's dad, Fred, came with.
Well, how nice. You had a
big party.
Great. Although I know you're out there for business.
Yes.
Didn't party. And then I am holding some interesting information on activities that are going on downtown, things that I look forward to every year. I mean, I get really excited about these things. So let's start with November, which is, can I say it?
Yes, you can say it.
The Grand Lighted Holiday Parade, one of my absolute favorites. It's like Disney.
It is. It's great. I can't wait. This will be actually, I wasn't able to go last year because we went out of state, but I'm very excited that we get to go this year. I can't wait. And we're looking for a few community members who want to be celebrity judges. If you're interested in that, you can be a celebrity judge with me.
Well, that sounds fun.
That would be great.
And how would people go about getting in this parade?
If you want to be in the parade, you can either call our office or you can visit our website. We have all the forms on there. Or if you get our e-newsletter, we emailed all the people the different information. Nonprofits, businesses, anybody who wants to come be in the parade. We are judging this year, so we're giving away cash prizes. And we only judge floats. that are lighted. So not just you walking in the parade, but cash talks. So you have to step up your game for that.
Okay.
We're gonna have Santa again at the First National Bank Plaza. They did put in a new tree.
Oh,
so
good.
we have a new tree, just got installed a couple days ago. And then we'll have Santa and Mrs. Claus at Turtle Creek Bookstore for, pictures and stuff like that. Asking all the kids what they want for Christmas.
That's fun.
So it'll be great.
How about me?
Well, you can sit on Santa's lap too and get your picture taken.
All right. I just want something for Christmas. But I guess we better tell people the dates.
Oh, it's Friday, November 29th, the day after Thanksgiving, from 5 to 9 p.m.
So when you finish your shopping, which all the stores downtown are going to be open that day, so you can start your holiday shopping, and then you can go to the parade and do the sing-along. I mean, it's just really a fun night.
It is. I can't wait. I'm very
It starts
excited.
at 5 o'clock with music, and then Santa arrives at 6. And is Santa going to, come down from the roof again? like he
Of
does?
course. And then light the tree
I won't-
magically.
I won't, blow any secrets. I won't say how he gets down off the roof.
Yes.
But then, okay, that's the end of November, and then we have
Holidazzle is coming up on Friday, December 13th from 5 to 9. We have tons of stores downtown that are all going to be lighted up and having lots of good stuff and sales. And lots of crafters and lots of other people come downtown and spread out. Even here at the Vision Center, we have a big party here too, so you can come on down and get all your holiday shopping done.
And that's just a fun night too, because it just really puts you in the holiday mood, because people are walking around downtown and there's lots of people downtown. You see your friends, and if we could have like a little bit of snow falling, that would be nice. We
Just
could
a
work on
little.
that. But all
Work on
the
that.
stores have lighted windows, and it's sparkly and it's fun. Now, are you having a contest again for the lighted windows?
We are. So any downtown business can decorate their windows, and we're actually going to finish the judging right at Holidazzle, and you can vote online on Facebook. You can email us. You can call us with your votes, and then that night we'll announce the winners, and then they actually get cash prizes too in the form of gift certificates. So they're really excited to win. And I know we're going to decorate here at the Vision Center. We have a little secret planned for our windows too, so you can vote for us too.
You're going to be like the Macy's windows.
We are.
People have to come down and see your windows.
You have to see it. You can't just vote from nowhere. You have to come and look at it and see them and then pick your favorite.
And pretty soon, maybe about the time this show is being aired, the Public Works Department will be putting up the outdoor displays on the light poles.
Hopefully, I'm not sure exactly what day this gets aired, but yeah, we should have our holiday banners up and all of our holiday lights, and it should all be done by then.
And I'm excited about that because I get to help you fix all the light bulbs. So
Yeah.
every time I look at those light fixtures on the light poles, I go, "Oh, I helped fix those."
That's right.
So they sparkle.
Takes a lot of volunteers.
This is like one of my favorite times of the year, can you tell? And so there's a lot going on. Anything else you want to tell us about?
Well, a lot of our stores have different open houses going on throughout the whole entire month of November. Lots of great sales. All the boutiques are doing them. So definitely, from now until the end of the year, get in the holiday spirit.
Absolutely, and make sure to check out the Beloit website because they maintain a calendar of events, so you can see all the things that are coming up, all the holiday choral concerts and different plays and things like that. So thank you, Shauna, so much for being on with us and sharing the excitement.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me. Okay.
Hi, I'm here with Councilmember Spreitzer, and he is here today to talk about how to run for City Council. And we're talking about it here on our November show because you have to prepare in advance to run for council in the elections in the spring. So Mark Spreitzer is what our youngest council member that we can think of that we've ever had, and that's exciting, and we love that, Mark. And then also, you should know that Councilman Spreitzer is also the VP of the council. So if our president is ever not available to run a meeting or to sign a signature or something, that Mark's the one who steps in, and we can talk about that in a little bit. But Mark, let's first talk about if you want to run for council, what should you do? Should you talk to your friends, or should you just get the paperwork and go?
I would say there are two things you should do. You should talk to your friends and potential supporters to find out that the support would be there for you to run, and then you should also do some research on what the process is like to run. So talking to the city clerk's office about what it takes to actually get on the ballot and run for city council, and also coming to council meetings, talking to current members of the council and city staff about what it would actually be like to be on the council.
Sure, and if someone's interested in running for council, one of the things that they should probably consider is the time commitment. Being on council is, well, for us, we think is fun because we work in government, but you know, it's not as glamorous as it always seems. There's a lot of meetings involved. Can you talk about the time commitment that you would say that you invest in being a council member, and the phone calls at night and things like that?
The time commitment varies depending on the time of year and what issues are coming up, but at a minimum, there are 2 council meetings every month on Monday nights, and those usually run in total anywhere from 2 to 2.5 hours. Then every council member is on at least 2 committees, and those can meet once or twice a month, or in some cases more than that, and how long depends on the committee. Some of those are daytime meetings, some are evening, so it can usually be worked out depending on someone's work schedule, which committees they're on. We have periodic special meetings if there's something that comes up, particularly if we're negotiating a contract with somebody. We'll tend to have a special meeting to talk about that. And then twice a year we have an all-day workshop, usually on a Monday, where we all take off work and go to that. One in May to talk about strategic planning, and one in October to talk about the budget. So in addition to that, there are a lot of emails to read that come, I think just about every day I get at least one email, either from city staff or from a constituent. And phone calls really vary depending on what's going on. There are a lot of times that I don't get any, but then sometimes you get them, and it really just depends on what's going on, but needing to have the time to be responsive to that.
Yeah, when you were speaking, I was just thinking that even to set up today, we were emailing back and forth. And then the other thing that Mark didn't mention is that you have to read the packet before you get to the meeting. And so those packets are typically 50 to 100 pages, depending on...
I would say closer to 100 is typical.
Yeah.
Now you learn how to read it more quickly because a lot of the pages are standard forms that have certain information on them, and so you get to know, okay, what is the information I need to find? There's a lot of writing on this form, but half of it is the headings of what the information is, and I need to find the information. So it is a lot of reading, but you can also tend to get through that 100 pages in a couple of hours because you know what to look for after you've been on a little while.
Sure. So if someone decides that, yes, this is a commitment that they can make, what do? They take out the paperwork to get signatures, and can we talk about that process?
So I would start by going to the city clerk's office, and you'll get a packet of paperwork that provides information about how to run, and also paperwork that you'll need to fill out. And before you start doing anything, whether it's getting signatures to get on the ballot, raising money, doing anything official, you have to file a campaign registration statement that gives your committee information to the clerk's office and indicates that you're starting the process of becoming a candidate.
And then once you turn that in, then you can get these signatures.
Starting December 1st. So you can't start getting signatures just yet, but you can start collecting money, collecting support, preparing to ask people to help you collect the signatures, and then starting Sunday, December 1st is when you can actually begin getting people to sign.
And then you need 200 signatures, and do they have to be city residents, or what's the qualifications for that?
They have to be city residents, and they have to be old enough and otherwise eligible to vote. So I found a challenge that sometimes you'll run into people who don't actually live in the city, and not everybody necessarily knows, particularly if they're on the border, whether they're in the city or not. So you do need to make sure that they live in the city, and you need to get their address down on the form.
And so what a lot of our candidates will do is, if you have to get 200 signatures, you'll actually get more than necessary, because when the clerk certifies the signatures, if one gets marked unqualified, then you want those extras in place.
You're allowed to turn in up to 400, and I would recommend doing at least 300 and 400 if you can, because you'll always have a few that get thrown out.
So this show will air in November, and then people can start talking to their friends and family. Then you can announce you're a candidate in December. You can get your signatures, and then the deadline is in January to turn in the signatures?
January 7th, and that's a Tuesday.
And then once all of your signatures have been declared and you're going to be on the ballot, don't they set up the ballot order in the clerk's office?
They do a drawing to determine the ballot order by random, and you can be present for that drawing if you want, or the clerk will send out a notice and let you know what the order ended up being.
Sure, and then when is the election in the spring?
The election is the first Tuesday in April, which this year is April 1st.
So I had our interviewee memorize all the dates, so keep that in mind. Thank you, Mark. So the election is in April, and so if you know someone running, you'll typically know in advance. Now, there are some other things that come into play. You talked about raising money. Can you talk a little bit about that?
How much money you really need to raise to run a campaign depends a lot on how well known you already are. In my case, I wasn't particularly well known, but I was running at the same time as my colleague Dave Lupke, who was very well known, so the amount of money we each needed to raise was pretty different. But if you decide to raise more than $1,000 or take $100 from any one person, then there's some paperwork you need to file accounting for all of your donations and all of your expenditures, and that's filed with the clerk's office. If you do less than that, then you don't need to file the paperwork and report your specific expenditures.
And so we've had, as Mark was saying, we've had a variety of people. Some raise no money and some raise a little bit. You can usually tell by the number of signs you see, right? Is that a good indication of who runs? So is there anything else you think is particularly important as a council member for people that are kind of thinking about running?
Well, as you think about a campaign, the thing that I found most effective was knocking on doors. It's the best way to directly talk to voters, and I think that really helped get the word out. Don't just rely on yard signs and things that cost money. Get out and talk to people. And then I would say if you're thinking about running, read through the council packets that are all posted online. Come to a council meeting. There's a little bit of time. We're going to be voting on things in November that you can come and watch a meeting, or the beginning of December as you're deciding whether or not to run. And you can start collecting signatures even if you're not sure, and decide whether or not to turn them in January. So take advantage of that time to talk to people and find out what the council does.
Well, Mark, as always, it's a pleasure to have you on our show. It's great to interview someone who's passionate about local government, and you've certainly shown your leadership by being promoted among his colleagues on the council. And if you have questions about running for office, you can call the clerk's office, and if you have questions about the city or city council, I'm sure you can get Mark's contact information on our city's website. So thank you.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Hi, I'm here with Lieutenant Keith Lynn, and he's here to introduce us to his newest dog, Glory. And she's laying down right now. But what happened was you used to have Molly, and she retired.
Yeah.
And Molly was a black lab.
Yes.
And then he recently completed training with Glory. And Glory is also an arson dog. But first, let's talk about this. How long have you had dogs through the fire department?
The fire department became involved with the Accelerated Detection Canine Program in 1996, in April, when I went out to Maine and I received Bobo. We worked Bobo till 2003 when he retired because of health issues, and then we acquired Molly. And then Molly worked for 10 years, and we're retiring her this year. Actually, she's retired now.
Sure.
And we've got Glory to take her place.
And one of the greatest things about this program is that State Farm actually sponsors this program, and they gave grant money to have the dog and train the dog, right?
Yes. Back in 1993, State Farm Insurance teamed up with Maine Criminal Justice Academy to actually train canines, and they were going to place them out across the United States in different agencies, and they were strictly for law enforcement and fire departments to help fight the crime of arson. It benefits State Farm, and it also benefits the communities to be able to fight the crime of arson.
Absolutely, and so being in charge of investigations at the city of Beloit, this is something that every time there's a fire, you always kind of wonder what happened, how did it start? The press always wants to say, what started the fire? And then this is helpful because there's a benefit for you guys as investigators, and then also the insurance if something kind of funny happens, right?
Yes.
And then Molly was here today. Today we kind of introduced Glory to the public, and Molly's here and she's a little depressed.
Yes, she is. She still wants to work.
Yes.
She gets rather mouthy. She's kind of a different personality.
Sure.
She's kind of a girl of her own world, and she gets a little upset when I work at Glory, so I kind of have to separate the two.
Something we find with all dogs that actually have a job is that they embrace it just as a job.
That is their life. They want to impress their handler and do everything just to please their handler, that they love doing their job. And it's unbelievable the connection that you get with a dog. It's not like having a family pet. This dog depends on me, and I depend on it. And we have a bond that's irreversible.
We can see that. Now, we have some footage of you doing, of showing what Glory can do. Can you talk about what she does when she does her job?
Well, the dogs are trained on food rewards, so what they're trained to do is to sniff out accelerants, things like gasoline, kerosene, diesel fuel, anything that a arsonist will use to try to set a fire. Now, obviously, there's arson fires with other means, but she's just a tool to help us find trace evidence left over in a fire scene. And what she basically does is she works on food reward, so when she sniffs the accelerant, she'll do what's called a passive alert. She just basically sits down on her butt and she points to it with her nose.
Right, and that's what she was doing.
That's what she was doing.
Now, this is no average dog. She has extensive training. Can you talk about where she was trained in Maine, and then you have to train with her as her handler. Can you talk about how, she's an employee of the city.
Yes. She's a sworn officer with the Beloit Fire Department. Unfortunately, she doesn't collect a pension.
Oh, that's right.
But
those food treats.
But what we did is we get paired up, and then we go through a 4-week initial training program where they take the dog from basic all the way up to working actual fire scenes. And then you're released back to your community, and then every day is training based on the fact that they work on food rewards. So that means that we have to do some sort of work in order for her to eat, because she doesn't eat anything unless she does work. So around my house, I had to hide drops of accelerants, and we have other little games where we play like a toucan monty game, so that the dogs can actually be able to sniff some accelerant, give an indication of an alert, and then they get the reward. And it's based on repeatedly doing that training continually every single day that drives them to want to be able to do it in a fire scene.
And she's at the station. When you're at the station, how does that work? Do you get called in? I understand when there's fires. How does this schedule work for you and her?
Yeah, I get paid as a handler, and she basically goes everywhere I go. So when I go home on my off-duty days, I'm on call, and the dog just lives in my house from day to day. Whenever I come into work, she comes into work and she lives in the station with us. When we go on runs, we try to lock her in a room, and she stays.
Now, do you have to train the firefighters not to give her treats too?
Yes. But think about it, we've been doing this since 1996, so they pretty much know that that's our fault.
Sure. So we also want to have Molly in our closing, but is there anything else you want the public to know about this program? I mean, it's something that, we at the city know that when Molly's there, and we love it, and we like to pet her, but is there anything else you want our residents to know about this program? Let's talk about the vet fees, the vet bills.
Yeah, the canine program, even with the Beloit Police Department and the Fire Department, the Prairie Avenue Medical Hospital has always provided free vet care for us, and they've taken care of all the canines, and they're a very strong supporter of it. I guess kind of the message that I like to get out to the community is that, you may live in your community and know that there's fires that happen, and just so that you know that the Beloit Fire Department is taking extra care to try to solve this stuff so that we don't have reoccurring incidents like this.
How many arson dogs are in the state of Wisconsin?
There's 2 arson dogs in the state. Gloria is the only State Farm sponsored dog, and then the State Fire Marshal's Office has 1 alcohol, tobacco, and firearms sponsored dog.
So I think Molly's taken some long trips in the past, right? Has she been requested to go up?
Yes. I've been throughout the whole state of Wisconsin, whether it's Superior, Rhinelander, La Crosse. Because of budget cuts and stuff, we try to generally work more in our mutual aid areas. So we work the city of Beloit and in any areas around us, so we normally provide service if they need us. So
Sure.
we kind of try to stay at home, but we will go outside the district.
Well, Lieutenant Lynn, it's been great to interview you and see Glory. And you should know that it's a privilege to have an animal in either the police or the fire department. He's proven himself. He has to go above and beyond. And this is everyday training. So kudos to you for keeping this program
Thank
going
you.
and for having the dogs in Beloit. And now we have another dog we get to come and love on. Thanks again.
Yep.
Well, Pam and I are in heaven. We're with some of our women's best friends. And these are our two, this is Molly, the retired, she's now retired officially at the fire department. She's the old arson dog, and then this is Glory.
She looks so relaxed. That's how we should all look.
This is what retirement looks like. So we had a jam-packed show, and we always love having our animal guests on. But we have some other updates we wanted to give you.
Yes. One of them is that when we had Vice President Mark Spreitzer on, we wanted to mention that he started out with the city as a member of the Appointment Review Committee. So we just wanted to encourage citizens, if you're thinking about getting into serving on, city council, try to apply for one of the committees, because you do get a lot of interaction with council. A lot of those committees are advisory for council.
Right. And so you can just come to the city manager's office or look us up online or call us and we can talk to you about that. The other thing is that there are 4 openings this year. There's going to be 4 openings on the city council. And so there are a couple that have already decided that they're going to run for re-election, but we'll see. So there's plenty of opportunity on the council.
Absolutely. Now, before we close, Molly served with the city for 10 years.
She did, 2003 to 2013.
She's like, yes, I did, and I'm so pretty.
She's
and
so
I know
proud.
you're talking about me. This is really quite a privilege to have these dogs. We are really proud of our fire department. And I have a question for you, Beth.
Oh, you do?
Yes, it's sort of a Thanksgiving question.
Ooh, I can't wait.
What kind of music do pilgrims like? Don't tell her.
I don't know. Heavy metal.
Plymouth Rock. Sorry.
That's our Thanksgiving joke.
Yes,
oh,
it is.
That's a good one.
And we want to just wish all of our viewers a happy, healthy, safe Thanksgiving, starting the holidays. Enjoy. And thanks to our staff and our cameraman.
As
for all
always.
your help.
Yes, thank you.
See you next month.